I'm Reverend J. Stewart Glover, and you are listening to Faith Talk. If I could put a title on today's episode, it would simply be Wonderfully Made. The scripture that I'm drawing this reflection from comes from Psalm 139, verses 13 and 14. Let me read it for you. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. This is the word of the Lord. In a world where worth is too often measured by appearance, status, or conformity, it's easy for some of us to forget who we truly are in the eyes of God. We live in a society that constantly divides and tries to define us, where skin color can dictate privilege or prejudice, where culture and ethnicity are used to separate rather than to celebrate, where religious or political affiliation can make one an enemy in another's eyes. There are those of us who are made to feel less than because of their socio-economic status, because of their gender identity, and because of their physical abilities or the lack thereof. Some are told directly or indirectly that they do not belong, that their lives matter less, and that their presence is a problem rather than a gift. Yet, into this fragmented world, Psalm 139 speaks a liberating truth, that every person is fearfully and wonderfully made. Every human life, no matter the labels that society assigns, bears the sacred imprint of the divine. God's creative touch extends to every color, every culture, every language, and every human heart. Every person bears something sacred, something of divine origin, and we are invited to pause today and reflect on this truth, that God created all of us, and every human life is sacred. Each one of us has been created by God with purpose, intention, and immeasurable worth. You were lovingly and intricately formed by the creator of the universe. And within you lies a divine potential, the imprint of God's creativity and care. The scripture said you are fearfully and wonderfully made. I want to let you know today that this is not mere poetry. It is the declaration that when God created you, He did so with reverence and precision, instilling in you your uniqueness, your beauty, your value, and your purpose. God created all of humanity in His image. Yes, we were formed from the dust of the earth, but we were also filled with the breath of the divine. And with that breath came incredible gifts. The intellectual capacity to learn, to grow, and to reason. The creative capacity to imagine, to build, to sing, to paint, to dance, and to express the unseen. The moral capacity to discern good and to act with justice and compassion. And above all, the spiritual capacity to love God and to love one another. Every culture, every community, every person reflects a unique facet of God's divine image. The languages we speak, the stories we tell, and the ways we express love all reveal something of God's ongoing creative work in this world. You see, God's presence is made visible through the diversity of humanity. When we look upon one another with eyes of grace and understanding, we actually behold the artistry of the Creator at work. Each person that we meet carries a reflection of divine beauty. It might be buried deeply within, but Psalm 139 declares, "Your works are wonderful." And today, I want to remind you of this profound truth. You are one of those wonderful works. In the eyes of God, hear this please, no one is greater or lesser. Every human being is fully known, fully seen, and fully loved by the one who made us. So be reminded today that your life carries sacred meaning. Your story matters, your voice matters, your presence is a gift to the world. And because of the beauty within you, you have the capacity to bring healing to a broken and complex world. Because of the gifts that you've been given, you're able to serve as an agent of compassion and renewal where it's most needed. So walk in confidence, celebrate who you are, and celebrate the God who created all people in divine likeness. Honor the sacredness of every life. Lift your heart in gratitude and always remember that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You were created in God's image. I'd like to share a brief poem with you. It's entitled Wonderfully Made. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am the intentional creation of a wise and loving God. Every part of me, seen and unseen, was formed with purpose. And my worth is not determined by others, by comparison, by performance, or by perfection. My worth is inherent because I am God's workmanship. I honor my body, my mind, and my spirit because they reflect the artistry of my Creator. I embrace the truth. I am a reflection of divine design. I was made in the image of God. I was created with incredible care, intricacy, and intentionality. I was gifted with a God-given dignity, worth, and purpose. God's works are wonderful, and I am one of them. And I know that for sure. So, to my listening audience today, let me say this. When we truly believe that every person is fearfully and wonderfully made, it changes how we see the world. It reshapes how we speak to one another and how we treat one another and how we respond to injustice and pain. To see God in every person is to reject systems that demean, exclude, or devalue. It is to stand with those who are unseen, to lift the fallen, to honor the dignity of all creation. So celebrating the sacredness of human life means living as people who recognize the image of God that shines within every soul. And when we live this truth, when we see others through the eyes of divine love, then the world itself begins to heal. Because in the end, to affirm that we are wonderfully made is to affirm that every life is a reflection of God's glory. I'm Reverend J. Stewart Glover. You're listening to Faith Talk. Be encouraged today. These episodes are available on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, and other podcast platforms. So please share with your family and friends. And until next time, God bless you. And remember that God created you in His image. God bless you.